The third season of Ninjago Dragons Rising introduced us to the Prismatic Blades and the Spectral Dragonians, but they have a lot of inconsistencies, missed opportunities and unanswered questions that make them feel underwhelming. So today I'll break down what went wrong with both the Blades and the Dragonians and how they could have been so much better. Let's start with the Prismatic Blades. These blades could have been so much more, but the way they're handled just doesn't make sense. Firstly, their powers are all over the place. Aaron's blade, for example, is introduced as the return blade. The whole point is that it's unique, it's the only one of the 5 that comes back when you throw it. But then, out of nowhere, Kai does the exact same thing with his blade, and suddenly the unique part of Aaron's weapon doesn't mean anything anymore. It's like they forgot the blade's powers halfway through the season. Then there's the upgrade to the reveal blades. This happens in part 2, but there's never an actual explanation as to how this happens. Why are they now effective against the Spectral Dragonians? Compared to Season 5, the other Ghost season, we know the Arrow blades worked because they were made of deep stone, material found deep underwater. Here, we don't get an explanation whatsoever. They're just, boom, upgraded. Now the villains are useless. Now, I do have a theory. We know the Prismatic Blades are made from prismatic steel mixed with soul energy. If that's true, then it could work like an antidote. Sometimes poison can be turned into its own cure, and maybe the soul energy that corrupted the Dragonians is the same energy that can counter them. But that's just speculation, the show just leaves us guessing. And lastly, the design. There are 5 of these blades, but apart from Aaron's, they all look basically identical. Not only that, but Aaron's is the only one with a distinct power. Why? Why not give each of them a unique ability? Think back to the golden weapons, the time blades, or any other MacGuffin we've had in Ninjago. The Prismatic Blades could have had a lot more identity, leading to more interesting battles and interactions, but they feel like regular swords. So yeah, the Prismatic Blades end up being inconsistent, underexplained, and honestly a bit underwhelming. Honestly, I don't think the Spectral Dragonians work as a villain faction. The introduction is already shaky, they just show up at the beginning of part 2, with no real setup. From what I understand, they're supposed to be the corrupted souls of Dragonians who never got their spirits restored after Thunderfang's death in part 1. But we saw every Dragonian healed when Thunderfang was defeated. And even if we accept that explanation, it's a huge missed opportunity. Imagine if we actually saw Dragonians fail to recover, if we had that emotional moment where we realized some of them were lost forever. That would have made the Spectral Dragonians feel tragic, like fallen heroes, instead of just mindless enemies to slash through. But the way they're presented, they don't carry that emotional weight. They're just there. A bunch of spooky ghost warriors without much depth. They honestly don't leave that much of an impression. Think back to the ghosts in Season 5. We had Bansher, Golter, the Soul Archer. Here, they're all the same, generic ghosts. But that's just my take. Anyway, if you want to know my thoughts about the Forbidden 5 and Thunderfang, click the video on screen, and if you enjoyed this video, subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.